Hmm. Hello. Today I'm going to talk on the title, When Good People Do Nothing. Many people seem to have the idea that if they don't know what is happening in their world, and they don't pay attention to things around them, the bad stuff will go away. And there's even New Age and New Thought and metaphysical and spiritual and religious advice that seems to support that notion. You know, if you focus on the bad stuff, it will only get worse. We've talked about this before. To me, silence in the face of injustice is consent. I remember in the story in the Second World War how one of the preachers said first they came for the Jews, and then the communists, and then the trade unionists, and I can't remember what at all. And finally, they came for the Christians, or they came for me, and there was nobody left to speak up. Everybody was silent because it wasn't happening to them. And yesterday I posted a video on my Facebook page that I had actually posted one time some months back. And it was about the soldiers speaking out about the atrocities of the war in Iraq, and I suppose Afghanistan too. And they were speaking up to let people know what's going on and what's wrong with what's going on. And a lot of people won't pay attention to things like that. A lot of good people will just tune it out and turn their head and look the other way as if it's not happening. As Jen Smith, one of my friends, Jen Smith, posted in a comment about that particular video, she said, "Your silence will not protect you." And then she used a Martin Luther King quote that I will repeat. Martin Luther King said, "In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." For many years now, I've been trying to awaken people to what is happening in our world. And I wasn't speaking out perhaps as much as I could have. Certainly I wasn't doing daily videos until January of this year. I was writing. I did post things on my website. I did send out little messages and emails and stuff like that on metagroups. I was trying to awaken people, and still so many, even in my own community, turned their back on me, called me negative. There was an undercurrent, and it does seem to be shifting this year. For whatever reason, people are waking up more and more. But there's still a lot of good people who don't want to get involved, don't even want to stand with those who are involved, who are the activists, in bringing to light the injustices, the atrocities, the bad things that are being done in this world in our name, by our governments, by our corporations, by our banks, by our doctors, by our lawyers, by the professional people that are supposed to be the experts. There's a lot of atrocious stuff going on, folks, in our world as this underworld becomes exposed and as people begin to wake up. And if there was ever a time for people to speak up and to speak out and to take a stand for truth and to take a stand for decency, this is the time. This is our time. We can't keep putting it on the back burner. We can't keep pretending these things in our shadow don't exist. We can't keep pretending that, folks. We must wake up around the world like they did in Egypt, like they're doing in other countries in the Mideast. We must We must do this in the Western world like they're doing in England, arresting judges that are incompetent and performing against their own oaths of office. Let me tell you something. These people that have been in these positions, they see the end of their world. To them, 2012, 2011 is the end of their game, and they know it's coming to a halt. They know the writing is on the wall. They see that, and they're desperate, so they do worse things. Why? So that good people can wake up, take a stand, speak out, and do something. Not just put their head in the sand and pretend it'll go away. Now, I know some of us are more attuned to fighting, and some to freezing, and some to fleeing and getting away from the problem. I know that that's the nature of some people. It's been described: fight, flight, or freeze. And I guess I'm a fighter. When I read it, I don't want to let people just get away with injustice. That's why I'm taking a stand. And they come after me even harder, maybe even after my granddaughter and my family. I know they've done that to others. I think that's how they've quieted Obama. Many people see Obama as a hero, as a plant from the light side. He's a star seed. So many of my friends, so many in the community still see Obama as one of the good guys with the white hat. But I'm telling you, he's been in office now for a good while. The election again is next year. He's been in office going on 3 years, and he hasn't done much of anything that's good that I can see. Why? Have they threatened him and said, if you speak out, you'll end up the same way that John Kennedy ended up? Remember, John Kennedy spoke out. He warned people about what was going on. He warned people. He tried to stop the Federal Reserve. There is no monetary problem in this world. There is no monetary problem. There is no shortage of money. Money can be created freely by every government on the planet according to the needs of the people to serve the people. But the money system has been totally taken over by a handful of people who control the entire commercial system of our world. They control the courts. The courts aren't real courts. They're administrative offices of the banks. And they render judgments that are not judgments of law. They're judgments of equity and commerce. This is the world that we live in. This is the world that's all around us, that has enslaved virtually the entire human population, with the exception of those people fortunate enough to be born indigenous, and even those are being intruded upon in the jungles of South America and Southeast Asia and other places around the world. Everything is being intruded upon. All of the assets, if there's anything of value, these corporations that are these nameless corporations, and I don't mean they don't have a name, I mean they're not human is what I mean by nameless. They don't have a face. They only have an image. And so many humans have been turned into nothing more than images. Images that must be maintained. Images that must be protected against all costs. For reasons of national security, people are shut up. And what is the national security? To protect the fraud, to protect the con game, to protect the lies done to all of us by our governments. It's not just here in America, but it's here in America. And so many people here in America, people that I know, people that I rub elbows with every week, still to this day, turn their heads and don't want to pay attention, don't even want to hear the truth about what's going on. In one of my groups last week, somebody commented, wasn't it wonderful how Obama could sit and watch the Navy SEALs go in and kill that terrible Osama bin Laden? And I said, you really believe that? That's BS. Osama bin Laden's been dead since December 2001. It was reported in many places around the world in 2001. It's been repeated many times since. It's been confirmed by others. But they put on these games that they play, these public relations stunts, like George Bush going on the battleship and saying the war is over in Iraq. Yeah, right, it's still going on. It's still going on. It didn't end after those, however many days it was, I don't remember at this point. But these are all publicity stunts, public relations stunts to deceive the people. When are we going to wake up that there is an alliance between the intelligence agencies in our world, which are nothing more than agencies to maintain the status quo and to protect the criminals that run the con games? When are we going to wake up? This is the world we live in, and it has been created because good people do nothing. Good people say, well, as long as it's not happening to me and I'm okay, there's nothing I can do to get involved, and it's bigger than I am, and so I'm going to play small. Keep playing small then. And then they eventually come for you. And there's nobody to stand up for you because they've taken them away because you didn't stand up for those that were standing up for the truth and standing in the light and telling the truth and declaring, this is the world we live in, and are we going to keep it and accept it the way it is, or are we going to stand up and demand changes? Or are we going to just keep giving our consent to the injustices and the insanity that's been going on all around us? It's time we wake up. This ninth wave is our time. It's our period to turn it all around. It is the completion. The ninth wave is the completion of the evolution of human consciousness. And we're either going to wake up or Earth is going to go on without us, because Earth will cleanse itself of all of these impurities. Earth is a living being. It's Mother Earth. It's the divine feminine manifested in a planet. In a planet. It's not a new religion. It's an old way of seeing things, where the feminine is honored because it is life manifesting. There's so many things that go through my heart and my soul and my spirit every day, through my mind. So many things that I see, and so many people that I see, friends, that just don't get it, that just don't want to get it. Please, 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 stop making excuses for yourself. If you're not a fighter, fine, don't be a fighter. But at least stand with those that are. At least be willing to risk standing with someone that is telling the truth. Listen to your heart. Your heart will tell you who's telling the truth. Your heart will tell you who's being genuine, who's being authentic. Your heart will tell you. You will know. You will be given guidance from your spirits, your spirit guides, the Holy Spirit, Jesus, whatever, however you look to things, the angels. You'll be given guidance if you seek it, and you'll be given a level of protection, especially as we continue to grow in numbers, and as people step out and risk taking a stand and telling the truth and becoming whistleblowers when appropriate. This is the world we live in. As Martin Luther King said, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends who stood by and did nothing, and in their silence gave consent to injustice. I leave you with these thoughts today, and I thank you once again for listening, and I say namaste. Bless you.